Hello everyone, Jai Hind. Welcome back in the Salesforce Administrator course. And today in day 9, we are continuing with the topic object. In the previous episode, we understood what is the object, taking the reference of the Excel sheet where I have, the explained you in context of the Salesforce that this is the app is, is holding or, is containing, the lead account opportunities and other objects. How, the similar it is, that we save the record in the Salesforce or in an Excel sheet. It's quite, the similar. And then I have given you the definition. Also, I have demonstrated you how you can create, create, update, and delete the records in the object. Now, once you are familiar with all these, now in day 9, I am going to, explain you the types of objects. Okay. What, how we can, explain or what is, the criteria of doing the classification or, the the dividing the objects into the different types of the object. So generally, this object is divided into two parts. One is standard object and another one is the custom object. Okay. So if somebody asks you the what is, what are the types of the object, you can simply say that objects are of the two types. One is the standard and the custom. Okay. Standard means the objects which is provided by the Salesforce. Okay. Okay. Means by default, you get this. Okay. Custom means that, the object which you create for your business purpose. Okay. Easy to understand, right? So standard means that, the object provided by the Salesforce. And, this is, this means that, when you log in or when you create a login, you get, the objects. So those are the, the standard. Custom means which you create. Okay. How you differentiate or how you can differentiate, how you can find out that this is the standard, this is the custom. So to find out that, the object is the standard or a custom, what you can do, you see here, there's a gear sign. Click here, setup, and in the object manager, okay, remember object manager, click here, and you see, these are the object names. So for, the standard and to, the understand, which is the standard and which is the, the custom object, you see here that the API name, okay, application programming interface name of the object for the custom will always have underscore underscore C. Okay. So the API name, that's the first thing. Okay. The API name of the custom object will always have underscore underscore C. Underscore underscore C. Okay. And you also see here that this is, the custom object. Type is also mentioned, standard and custom. But let's say you, do not have this facility, which will actually, happen in coming days. when you will be working, the without going into the object manager. Okay. Or let's say, the somebody has, the provided, let me take it like this. S- for your business, for your business purpose, somebody has, the provided like this, a sheet to you, that this is, the business sheet, business requirement sheet, and this is, object, the API. So by seeing this, you understand, okay, this is the custom one. This is the standard one. This is the standard one, right? This is the custom. Okay. Because in object manager, you have the facility to you can see the standard object and the customer object. But the easy or, the permanent solution I can say is, you always have to understand that if any object API name is having underscore underscore C, that means it's a custom. Okay. The another, the thing is the custom object, because you created, you can always, delete it. Okay. Which is not possible in the standard object case. You can delete it. You can, the update it. See how to, the create this, the object. I will explain you. But I'm telling you, what all the, the things which you can do with the custom object. So when the, okay, coming here back. So when the click on any of the, the standard object, let it get load. In detail section, you see, the exactly the same, the API name, the plural name. But in the custom one, you see that, the API name is having, the underscore underscore C. The custom box is checked. Because in the standard case, it is unchecked. Here it is checked. Okay. Enable reports, track activities, all these are unchecked. But because when you have, the created this object, so at that time, you have checked these checkbox. So that is why you see here. Okay. You also, get the edit and delete button here as well. Okay. Right. So first difference you understood is the API. Every custom object will have underscore underscore C, whereas standard will not. Second, the standard, the object cannot be the deleted, right? Or, the properties of the, the standard object cannot be updated, whereas the custom object can be deleted and the properties of, the standard object can be updated as well. Okay. Okay. How you can, the create that I will explain you. So this custom object also have, like, this object which you see here, that, with the name admission, this is a general custom object. Okay. Right. But in custom object, we have also two special objects. One is big object and external object. I will explain you that why I'm saying, this is big object and the external object. I will explain you. These are the separate topics. So if I click on the object manager, you know, if I, and don't worry, I will explain you each and every topic, but I'm just, making sure that your confusion should not be remain with you after this particular lecture. So if you know, I'm going to click here, the create custom object. This will create a custom object that is, the in general one, right? But when I'm saying that, when I'm saying that the custom object have two, the other type of the object as well. That's the special one you can say for the special purpose. So one is big object. So when you click here in the setup, and this is, the advanced topic. So, don't get worried about it. But I am, just making sure that you know everything step by step. Right now, we are not going, going to understand, what is big object, external object, but you should be aware of. I'm not demanding your expertise right now on this big object and the and the external object, but I just want, you should be familiar. If someone, says or talks about, the custom object, you can tell them that, okay, the custom object will always have, the API as underscore C, can be updated, can be deleted, right? And two other objects, which are the special objects, are also come under the custom object technically. So you see here, when I clicked on the, I'm in the gear sign, setup, and then, I'm in the big object. Click new. Okay. So this page is exactly, I'm in the, or, I should say very similar to the creating a custom object. Okay. Right. Another one is the external object. See, quite similar to, the creating a custom object, which we will be covering in, in our next session. Okay. Now this external object will not have the API as underscore C. Instead of, this will have underscore X. Okay. Getting my point? Right? So why I am saying that big object or external object is actually a custom object? Because you create. And I have just shown you. Okay. You have to create. So that's why, the big object and the external object are the custom object. Though, these are the separate topics, but actually these two are the custom object only. Okay. Both, the standard object and custom object. Okay. Can also be classified as enterprise application object and light application object. Okay. So first classification you understood based on if you are able to create it, then that is the custom. If you are not able to, create, Salesforce providing you the standard. API name, will be underscore C for the custom, but for the external, this is underscore X. Okay. The another, the classification is enterprise and the light application. By default, all the standard, objects are the enterprise application object. Now, what is this enterprise and the light application object? Let me quickly show you. When you will be learning how to create this object in a next episode or next lecture, you will be, the understanding this object classification. Okay. Now this is, the sharing, bulk API access, streaming API access is a advanced, all these are the advanced topics. So if you select all these, if you I mean, the select all these, then your object becomes the enterprise application object. If you uncheck, then it becomes the light application object. Okay, we'll understand I mean, the all these topics, but when I am saying that let's understand the classification of the objects or type of the object, it is our responsibility to understand the classification of the object in all parameters. Expertise I'm not demanding, but familiarity I am. Okay, so I mean, the type of object are two: standard and the custom. I'm repeating again. Standard and the custom are the two type of the objects. Standard are provided by the Salesforce. Okay. Custom you create for your business purpose. Okay. The API name is, I mean, the API name of the standard is the object name itself. But here the custom will always have the underscore underscore C after the object name. Okay. If we deep dive, then we also have the two custom objects. One is the big object and the external object. Both are the custom object, and I have proved you why, because we are creating, if we need, then we are creating, I mean, the big object and the external object. Big object will obviously, will have the underscore underscore C after the name, I mean, in the API after the name, but external object will have the underscore underscore X, not C. Okay. The another classification, okay, based on the sharing bulk API access and the streaming API access, is that your, I mean, the standard and the custom object are again, I mean, based on these technicalities, object classification, right, are of two type: enterprise application object and light application object. By default, all the I mean, the standard are enterprise application object only. Whereas in custom, you have the opportunity, you have the option to select and deselect. Okay. So in the custom, you can define that whether I mean, you want the object to be the enterprise application object or the light application object. All right. This is clear. In the, I mean, the day 10, we will start, I mean, the understanding about how we can create the object. Till then, revise the topics. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll meet again in day 10. Till then, take care of yourself and your country. Jai Hind.